Yep. Good evening, everyone. So yesterday we learned about how do we create a simple interface and communicate with the APIs. We learned, and to communicate with the API, get data from the API and use. We used one method, fetch. Right. I hope you tried this. Right. API working fine. Right. Now to communicate with API, so what is issues with fetch? What are the issues with fetch is it is a JavaScript method promise, you can say. It's a JavaScript promise and which returns data in binary. So any data that is coming from API is not directly in JSON. It is in the form of binary. So you have to explicitly convert into JSON. Another problem is this fetch issue is it uses synchronous technique, sync technique. It uses sync technique. Sync technique is nothing but, so it is a blocking technique. That's not good. That means when it is fetching the data, it will block all other actions and it will do only fetch. That means it uses a synchronous technique. By using that, it will fetch the data. When it is fetching, it will block other requests. That is not good idea. So blocking other requests and fetching your data is not good. So that is the problem with fetch. Another important is it is not good in error handling. It's not good in error handling. That means it can identify the problems, but it uses which method? Catch. It uses catch method. And I hope you learned in JavaScript can catch the exceptions. In JavaScript, can a catch method catch exceptions? No, it can't catch exceptions. You have to throw and manually catch. So that means it cannot implicitly catch the exceptions. That means it says error, but what error? No. That you have to tell. That means JavaScript catch method cannot catch exception. I hope you learned that. For example, see, suppose it is any JavaScript file I will show you. Usually, suppose in JavaScript, I will create here, suppose script. Suppose we are giving var x is equal to some 10. So y is equal to some some 2. So z is equal to x divided by y. And what I am doing is I am giving all this work to here, all this work, right? All this work to a try method. Try these actions. And so what it has to do, catch if any problem is there. Catch uses a exception and it should report that problem. That means document.write. It should report the problem. And I will give here finally, it should display some document.write x is equal to plus what is, z is equal to what is in z. Now, usually when you run this, it is going to print the result. So as 5, that is working fine. Suppose I try to divide by 0, then what catch should do? It should catch divide by 0 exception and report that divide by 0 exception. It should catch divide by 0 exception and report it. But you see now it is unable to do that. Then what is use? That means implicitly it cannot catch the issue. Then what you have to do? We have to write the expression like this. That means if so y is less than or equal to 0, then we have to throw. We have to throw divide. So cannot divide by 0. So this is 0. So that is if it is equal to 0. Okay. Cannot divide by 0. We have to throw like this. When you throw, then it can catch that exception and show. So, and this is infinity, right? That is means infinity is, it is finally na. Finally means it returns every time. But if you want, you can keep this in the same location and print. But the problem here is it's not catching until you throw. So fetch is using a catch method, and any JavaScript person knows catch is not great in JavaScript because catch cannot catch the exceptions. It can catch only when you throw an exception. In other programming, it is good because in other programming, it can catch the exceptions implicitly. But here you have to manually throw the exception and catch the exception and use it. So this is not good in what? Error handling. That is one problem. Another important problem is CORS issues. CORS is nothing but cross origin resource sharing. That means if any data is coming from another server, then it may block the data. It will not allow to pass the data. That is problem. Another security issues will be there. Security issues like we call as XSS. You know what is XSS? In web applications, we call it as cross-site scripting attacks. Cross-site scripting attacks. So later, if you are not aware of this, I will explain some security things at the end of React. That means at the end of React, we will learn how to secure a React application. What are the security concepts we need to implement? Securing React application means preventing our application from hacking. So what is the main threat of any application? Threat of application is hackers may hack your application. For that, they use certain techniques which we have to prevent. We need to protect from that. For that, we need some security. That's the reason many times people are confused in this point. In interviews, they ask, tell me about any React security. Then people tell about authentication, authorization. That is not security. Authentication, authorization means user ID, login, passwords. That is not security. That doesn't comes under security. Security means how you prevent your application from hacking it. That means what are the security measurements you have to take. All that comes under that. That we will discuss at the end, how we can secure our application. There you will learn different attacks and how we manage them. Initially, these are the issues with fetch. Then what you can do is, then you can try jQuery Ajax in React. You can try jQuery Ajax in React. So if you have already learned jQuery and you know jQuery Ajax methods, you can use that exactly same as there here also. How you used in jQuery, same you can use here. What is advantage here is jQuery Ajax methods. We have like $.getJSON. We have like $.Ajax. So we have so many Ajax methods, like so Ajax start. So we have like so Ajax stop. So we have like Ajax complete, Ajax complete. So we have like Ajax success. So many Ajax methods are there. These are all lifecycle methods, Ajax lifecycle methods. So we have like Ajax error. These are all Ajax related methods. So if you have already learned jQuery and you know jQuery Ajax, these all you might have already learned in jQuery. So we are not learning jQuery, but here we will see how to use some jQuery method, how to handle, right? What is advantage? What is the main advantage of jQuery method is, one of the main advantage means, so features. The features are nothing but, the first important feature is it returns data in JSON. It returns data in JSON. Directly data comes in JSON. And very important is it can handle any type of data. Any type of data. It's not like only JSON, any XML or HTML or text, any kind of data it can handle. So another important point is, so that means returns directly JSON means no conversions required. No conversions required. That means we don't need any data conversions. And it is, so it is better in error handling. Better in error handling, but not great, because this also depends on XML HTTP request object, which is a JavaScript object. So it is better in error handling, but not so great in error handling. That means everything is not easily provided. You have to do a lot of implementation. So it is better when compared to what fetch. And very important is here, it is going to provide you async technique, but explicitly, not implicitly. Internally, it is not providing async technique. It is providing explicitly. That means we have to manually use async methods to handle async. So we have to explicitly handle that. That is what problem with this. But it is, and another option is, so it is it handles coarse issues. So it handles coarse issues, and it handles security issues like accesses. These are good when compared to fetch. Syntactically, how to use, you know the syntax. We have to use $.Ajax. Ajax uses Ajax options. In Ajax options, you will have method. Method indicates whether it is a get or post or put or delete. What is the method, right? And we have URL, that is the path. So we have data, if any data to post. So we have success. Success is a callback function. So, and we have error. Error is a callback function which will find out what is the problem. This is the jQuery AJAX method. You can use jQuery AJAX methods to in React to communicate with API, but it is not directly available. You have to install jQuery and use it in React. This is another important. So what we do, suppose we want to use jQuery and through jQuery we want to access. So here previously we used a fetch method. Instead of fetch method, we want to use jQuery. Then, so let's remove this. That means we are not using fetch. Now we will just put that here so that I can copy the URL. Now here, first, in order to use jQuery, React doesn't have jQuery library. You have to install it. So open the terminal, and in the terminal in your project, you have to install jQuery. npm install jQuery and save. This is downloading and installing jQuery for your project. After installing jQuery, I hope you people know that complete jQuery library is under the reference of $. You know that, right? $, is the main library for all the jQuery methods. jQuery is installed successfully. After jQuery is installed, how to import jQuery? To use jQuery, we have to import the complete jQuery methods are present in $. You have to import $, from jQuery. You have to import from jQuery. That's what you need to do. So that means complete jQuery comes by using this $. jQuery related all methods are present here. If you already know jQuery, then you know how to import and use jQuery actually. Suppose if I want to import jQuery, then we usually what we do. So we write $what function. This will give access to complete jQuery. All jQuery methods are present in $. That means you need to configure that here. $. Now what to do? Load photos. Currently you can see the output is missing. We don't have any output. So now we have to use $.ajax. $.ajax and ajax related method. Method is we need to fetch, then we have to use get. And it is expecting URL. URL, what is the URL? URL is this path. Let's copy that path. I will copy and paste that path here. This is URL. After that, we have success. Success uses a callback function. This callback function will get a response. Will get response. And this response we need to present. We need to store. But very important, I hope you people know that actually, so this success function of jQuery returns a response object that contains various response details like it contains status, it contains status code, it contains data, so it contains headers, etc. So many are there. Actually, what is status? Status means it returns the status. Actually, status is code, status text is number. Status means it will return 404 or it will return 200. What is status text? Status text is not found or it is okay. Data means whatever data in a file or URL. Whatever data is present, it is present in data. And header means request details. Request details like what is the method name. So what is the header name? So URL, host name, all these details are present in header. These so many details are there in a response object. So we don't need all, we need only data. That means now what we have to do, response have a lot of details. We don't want all details. We need only data. That data we need to store in which location? Mars. That data is an object. Data is an object. So what you have to do? So we have to say set Mars. We have to access response dot data. Data is an object. In that there is photos. Response dot data is an object. That object have a property called photos because set Mars is an array. If it is an array, we need to pass only array into it. Array into it. That's how we configure. That means it is going to fetch the data and return the data and display. So whatever data is present, it has to fetch and return the data. Some error? So let's check the console. So here it is having photos problem. Yeah, directly this response dot data. I will just log this here. It is returning undefined. Okay. Directly response is returning all the data, right? So here we will use response dot what? Photos. Okay. That will give all the photos. Fine. So this we need to set. What is it? Set Mars and what is that? Response dot photos. Okay. Now you can see it is going to get all the data and display. Unique key is same, right? So that means every card that you generate must have a key. So item dot ID. That will be enough, right? It is going to get that and display. Now it is fine. So it is able to access all the data and display all the data. So this is generally done by using jQuery Ajax. Currently we are learning only get methods. Get methods because we don't have any API by our own. When we have API by our own, we will see both get and post. But for post, you need forms. You need to design the forms and all. Later we will see. So this example I will give you. This is the example for what? So how we can set up jQuery. For first step, what we have to do is, so you have to install jQuery. So npm install, what is it? jQuery. Then import jQuery library. So we have to import, we have to do dollar from, what is it? jQuery. That's what we need to do. Then we can use dollar dot Ajax. and we can define all the Ajax options. This is the file name. I will give nasa.component.js. This is the code. So here I am using, so here we are using this Ajax method, jQuery Ajax. Now there is another technique. You can use any, whatever you want. You can use any concept. Another important, we can consume by using any third party. Third party, so many third parties are there. So many are there. You can use any third party. One of the popular third party so is Axios. Axios, when compared to jQuery Ajax, so many advantages are there. So what is advantage is, it is Axios. Axios is lightweight. So it is lightweight, and it supports both sync and async methods, async techniques. That means synchronous and asynchronous. You can switch. We can make it synchronous. We can make it asynchronous. So we can use which technique we want. Another one, it can handle multiple requests simultaneously at the same time. That means in one go, it can manage multiple requests. It can access multiple requests in one attempt. That is the ability of Axios. That means what Axios can do is, for example, Axios can handle. So usually Axios also will have same like Ajax. That means Axios will have method. Axios will have URL. Like this, Axios have its own concept, and it will have data if anything to be posted. And it will have multiple requests also it can handle. For example, it can do like this. Axios, it uses an object. In this object, it can have an array. In this array, so what it can do is, at the first location, it can have the get method. That means it can use here method. It can use URL, and it can do another method here. It can define another method, and it can use another URL. That means at a time it can execute multiple methods. First method will be executing at 0 index. Second one will be 1. It can handle multiple requests simultaneously at the same time. That is what ability. And it is good in error handling. It is good in error handling. That means it is more secured. So technically, sometimes developers are not satisfied with certain features, then they will go with third parties. There are so many third parties. Suppose you want to explore more third parties, what you can do? So technically, we need to go to this location. What is the location? So npmjs.com. You have to open this npmjs.com. Here you can search. That means this is the library of npm. Here you will get various third parties, how we can manage and how we can work with various third parties. So technically, what we have to do, suppose we have to just say React. So I am searching here React API. So React API library. So API library, you will get so many React API library. So you can see this is API libraries. So many API libraries will be there. Hundreds will be there. You can search specific, like suppose I said Axios, and you see it will give you the Axios. And it is not just Axios, it will give you all the suggestions. So many are there. And you can use any library you want. Remember, it's not necessary that what you learned in class, the same is used, right? So because in companies, they may go with different libraries. So in that case, so you have to able to handle any library given to you. You have to explore their help documents. You need to read what methods they provide, and based on that, you need to implement. Because in a React, different libraries are used, and all libraries don't have any standardizations. Like all have to follow the same library. There is no such standardization. Then you can go with different. So that is the reason, if you can handle one library, others also you can handle, right? Now, let's see one example how to use this Axios. Remember, I am not showing complete get and post. I am just showing how to fetch the data from API. How to fetch the data from API. When we are designing complete interface, get, post, and put, delete, there you will learn all the concept, how to handle errors, how to report errors, how to track the errors and all. This is not about error handling on API. This is about how to communicate with API in different ways. Just only one way communication we are learning. When we learn about post, put, delete and all, we can track the errors, we can report the errors, and we can define them. Usually, so if in jQuery Ajax, if there is any problem, if you know jQuery, nobody need to tell you. You know how to track the error. How to track the error? We have to just use another one, error. Error uses a callback function. It will return XML. Actually, error will return what? Error will return an XML HTTP error object. So suppose XHR. And what you can do, you can report the error. How you will report the error? You can say console.log or anywhere. You can report what is that XHR. You can report that error. That means it has so many details. It has so many details. Error has so many details. As I told you, it will have status. It will have status text. That means I will display status text. Status text. Then it will say not found or something error, whatever problem is there. If your data is failed, it is unable to access the data, then obviously it will return the error. It will return the error. So if you know jQuery, you know how to report errors, right? So otherwise later when we learn both interactions, we will see get and post, we will see how to manage. So this is generally how we can do by using JavaScript fetch method, jQuery, Ajax method. Let's see Axios also. For that, what you have to do, same, you have to install Axios. How do we install? npm install Axios and save. So let's do this with Axios now. I will remove that here. Okay. Now your data is not there. It is empty. Now let's install Axios now. How to install Axios? npm install Axios and save. Once Axios is installed, you have to import Axios. You have to import Axios. Just we have to import Axios from Axios. Axios is the core library. And you know why I don't use a curly brace? Because why I don't use a curly brace? Because that library is marked as default export. If it is marked as default export, then you have to directly define it. Already we learned what is default export, right? In module systems, we discussed. Some libraries are marked as default. Some libraries are not marked as default. Then you have to go to the library. You have to see its details. How you will know? The help documentation provided by that library. Any third-party library you are using, you have to once read the help documentation given by them and you have to implement, right? Now see here, Axios is ready. Now we are importing that Axios here. How do we do that? So we will use import Axios from Axios. After that, it's a very simple technique. Axios provides, you can use Axios and it uses the various options. What is it? Method and all. Or there is a shorthand technique. Shorthand technique simply Axios.get. We can use a shorthand technique. Axios.get from which URL. So you have to paste that URL. Let's copy and paste that URL. This is the API URL. Let me copy that. And we are using that URL. This is URL. Now it uses a callback function then. So that means if it is fulfilled, what it will get, it uses a callback function, what? Response, and this response we need to handle. Let's see console.log. Console.log, what it is? Response. We are accessing that response. When you are accessing the response, you can see in the inspect, in the console, we will check here. And in the console, you see it is coming with an object. And see in the object, it is having request, it is having headers, it is having data, and it is having config. Now, where is our information? Data. Data. This data is an object. That object have photos. I told you headers, I told you request, status text, everything it will detailedly get. That means now what we have to do? So we need to define here like this. What we do? Set Mars. We need to access response dot data. In the data we have photos. That is what we need to post. And if there is any problem, dot what? Catch. Catch usually uses an promise. That means it uses an exception. So that means we have to report that exception. Console.log ex. So just exception, whatever exception it catches, you have to display. So this is basically how you can manage. So the data coming and displaying. This is all the data coming from API. But this time we are using what? This time we are using Axios. By using Axios, you can manage, right? So this is a simple example of understanding various API techniques of handling, right? Our concept is to just understand how to fetch data from API. Get, post, put, delete APIs is a big concept. We will do that separately after learning forms and everything. We will create our own API. We will interact with the APIs in all CRUD operations we will do with the databases. There we will learn how to even handle the errors and how do we report the errors for every reason. Here our concept is what? Data binding. In data binding, I am explaining how to fetch the data from an API and bind. That's it, right? We are just learning that concept here. So as of now, what we done, some data we collected from where? From hard-coded list. Instead of that, we can collect the data from an API and we can use it. So this is same. So nasa.component.js. This is the API and this is the Mars. This is all the data. This time we are using what? Axios. This time we are using Axios, right? This is a simple approach of communicating with data. I showed you 3 techniques by using JavaScript, by using jQuery, and by using Axios. We can use any kind of techniques here. Now, let's try and work with another example here. So we will create a shopping. So shopping ERP. So with the fake store, with the fake store API. We will create a shopping ERP with the fake store API. So, and we will see how we can manage and handle the interactions, how we can deal with the interactions. So first thing, one API I showed you is NASA API. Fake store, there is a website, fakestore.api.com. This website will provide some free data for designing ERP websites. You can try this and you can get good examples and practice on this. So now let's see how to handle this fake store API. Now actually these people will provide some methods like we have /products. This /products will return an array of almost 20 products will be there. It will return an array of 20 products. And every product is an object type. It's an object type. It's an array of products. It has so many methods I will give you. So there is another method, products and ID. What it will do is it returns an object that is nothing but specific product. Which product you requested, that product related details it will return. There is another method. So products/categories. This will return an array of what? Categories. So some product categories are present, it will display. Now it is having another like products/category/some electronics like this. This is also an array. It will return products of specific category. Products of specific category. This is all the data they have. So many others are there, but this is enough. We will try to use this data and we will try to create a simple interface. We will try to create an interface and we will see how we can handle interactions on the data, how we can manage interactions on the data. And to fetch data, any API technique you can use, either fetch or Axios or jQuery Ajax, anything you can use here. Let's see. Let's create one simple interface now. So I will create a new component. So let's add a new component called in the component folder. I'm adding shopping. So shopping is a new folder. In that shopping folder, I will add shopping.component.js. Okay. And shopping.component.css. These two files are there. Let's go to shopping component.js. So export function shopping component, and it will return a simple markup. And here we will put class name as container fluid. And here, so this container, so we are creating a header, and we will keep a heading and span, some class name bi some cart, and here I given as shopper, something like this. Okay, so we will create later more navigation with the concept called routing. Initially we will just concentrate on API. So how do we fetch here? So class name is some bg dark, So text white, text center, padding 2. And we will keep this in the startup, that is a shopping component. Okay. Now that shopping component is in the startup. Now just below this, yeah. Now below this, we will create a section, and in the section we will keep class name margin top as 3, and here we have row. In this we will design a navigation, so class call 3, and here we will create a main. This main will have class call 9. So that is the division. Left side, here we will put a drop down div, and we will put a label. So select category, and below we will keep a div, and here we will put a select. So this is having so class name as form label, and this is having class name as form select. This is a simple drop down here we have. Right now what I want to do here is, this is 2 and this is 8. Okay. Now what I want here is, I want to display all the categories here. You visit that website here. So the website is fake store API, fakestoreapi.com. In fake store API we have, so this is the API website. As I given you various methods in this fake store API, so you can see they show you fetch, because that is the general jQuery method, commonly JavaScript method. You see here some methods are there. In this products/categories, it is going to return an array of categories. I want to fetch the data from here and I want to display here. So let's do the logic. Now here what we are doing, so we need to import what? You have to import use effect, and you have to import use state. These two are required from React, and we need to import one more, Axios, from Axios. You can use jQuery, anything, so we can use this Axios. Now here I will create a constant, so categories, and set categories. It is use state, it is an array, because we know that it is an array of string. Now we will write use effect. Use effect uses a callback function, and dependencies are no, there are no dependencies. Later you will see dependencies. And here what we need to do, we need to use Axios, or first I will create separate methods function. What is it? Load categories. What this method have to do, it have to use Axios dot get URL. URL is http://fakestoreapi.com/products/categories, and a dot, then it uses response, and this response data must be added to set categories. We have to collect response dot what data. That is ready. Now we need load categories to call when component is initialized. So load categories. After that, that categories must be displayed inside the drop down. So in the drop down we are adding, so categories dot map. We need every category, and every category must be displayed as an option, and every option will have a key. Key is same category, and here we will put the value also category. Keys category. here one more option is there. This is text. And suppose this text is displayed, you can see now it is going to access and display the data. So it is, any error is here. So let's check what is the error. Map is not a function. Why? This response dot data. So categories spelling. Categories, right? So it is accessing all the categories and using them. Okay, fine. Now you can see the list of all the categories are coming here. But these categories, usually these are the categories and these categories are in lowercase. I want an uppercase. Then what we do here, suppose I'm using the method to uppercase, which is a JavaScript method to convert to uppercase. Now it is showing in uppercase. But when you select, it submits uppercase. But it should submit lowercase only, because later the data we need to filter by category, and in data it is lowercase. So this is text and we will put value. Value is what? Value is category, which is lowercase. What you see is uppercase, what you submit is lowercase, right? This is option. One more important here. Now, whatever data comes, the response data, you can see in this directly one category is there, because whatever categories are here, they are displayed. Now, what should happen is, here I want one more additional, all, above all. In that case, how to add any new data into the data which is coming from API? Of course, we can't edit that API because they should give that permission to edit it. Now, here we can do that. What we can do? So the response dot data is an array. Into that array, we can use unshift. You know, unshift is used to add the item as top. I will use all. Okay. Then what it will do is, before setting, it will add one more item into it. And that item is what? All. It should get that and display all. That means we are adding one more which is not there in the data. Right? So this is a simple fetching the data and displaying. Now, this fake store is having some collection of 20 products. You can see these are all products. And this data is returning in the form of what? Array of objects. And every product have ID, it have title, it have other details. So what we will do now, we want to display all products below. So we will create here main. In the main, we are going to give some class dflex. Dflex is display flex. We will have flex wrap. It will keep wrap. Okay. Now, in this main, we want to display all products as cards. Then what we will do here, we need to get all the products. We need one more function. So, and we need one more state. So we need to configure state. What is it? Products and set products. Set products, it is use state from, it is type array. Now we need to create one more function. The function is load products. But this load products is not going to load all products every time. What should happen is, when user selects electronics, it should load only electronics. And if user selects all, it should load all. That means now this method have to change according to selection. Then we can pass a parameter here as URL. We will create the method with a custom URL. So whenever anybody calls load products, it will not directly load. It will ask from where I have to load. That means that URL you have to pass. Now what we will do? We will use Axios dot get. Get will be this URL which is unknown. Later that URL will be known. But we are expecting what kind of data from that URL array. And we will store that inside the products. So what we do dot, then we will get a response. And what we have to do, so here we have to use, so set products into set products response dot data. That is what we have to do. This is a simple technique of creating a method which we can reuse. Now what should happen is, whenever component is initialized, I will access load products. Now I will tell what products to load. By default, I want all products to load. Then I will pass that URL. What is it? HTTP. So fake store API.com / what products. This is going to load all 20 products. That means it is going to access all the 20 products and pass them. This URL collect all 20 products and store 20 products. And those 20 products I want to display inside the main. So we will design, so here, what is it? Products dot map. We will read every product. And for every product, we will design a card. So class name as card. So margin 2, padding 2. And after that, here we will define an image where I will display the product image. Actually, in their product data, you can see the product data have ID, it have title, and the product data is having title ID, and it is having category, and it is having image, and it is having rating, right? And one more is description. All these are the details of product. So product is having all these details. Now what we will do, let's go here. We will add source. Source is coming from product dot image. And this div will have a key. What is it? Product dot ID. We will use ID. And class name is card image top. And we have height defined to some 150 pixel. 150 pixel. Okay. So that is the height general. Now below this, I will just create a div, and we will keep a class name. This is card header. In this, we will put a paragraph where the product title should come. Product dot title. Product dot title. We are displaying the product title. Now after the product title, so we will keep another div. So class name card footer. So or say card body. And in the card body, I will create a data list with the data term. We have price. Price is coming from product dot price. And we have, so rating. Suppose rating, and we are displaying here. So span. So class BI star fill, and the text success. And here I will put the rating, product dot rating, product dot rating, actually rating dot rate. It is an object which is having rate, and it is also having, so product dot rating dot count. It is having the product count. Okay, these details we displayed in the body. Initially, this is enough. Now, what we are doing, one more body and a div in that class name as card footer. In this, we kept a button, and class BTN and BTN danger. And we have a span class BI cart 4. And here we have add to cart. Now this is the basic card we generated. We need some options to handle. Let's go to CSS. For main, I will give height as 500 pixel. And here I will give overflow as auto. Overflow auto means if there are many contents, a scroll bar will come, so that entire page will not scroll. That is main. And one more, we will use card header. Some height of card header we will give as 160 pixel. That is the card header height we define. And every card, so we are giving some width as some 200 pixel. That's what we are defining. And this we need to import. So we are importing .slash shopping.component.css. Now this is the page. That is the page we are having. And these are all the components now available. Now you can see these are all the components we have. That is the card that we designed here. Right now we need to do some implementation. This is nothing but just all the products details. All the products related information is defined here. We are configuring all the product details here. Now what we need to do is left side, there is a filter. When user selects the category, only that category products must come. So only that particular category related products must display here. We need to set a filter. That's what we discussed, that they will just provide data. API means they will have data. Complete interface we need to design. That depends on their requirements. That means they will say filtering, searching, sorting, everything you have to implement in this. Now, what we need to do, we have to write logic when drop down is changed. Drop down is changed. How? So let's go and write the logic here. So now what is the logic we need to write? Where is the drop down? This is. For drop down, what is the event? On change. On change, we will write a method name, that is category handle category changed. This is the method. We will write that function now. We are writing the function. What is it? Handle category change. Now what it has to do? First it should collect which category they selected. It should collect which category they selected, and it should load only the category that selected. How to collect which category they selected? That means this drop down related value, which value they selected, we can access. How to access? Already I showed you how to access text box value, drop down value also I showed you. Data binding we learned now. That means here we have to use an event argument E. So how we can access? So E dot target dot value. This is what collecting the value from the drop down. Now what is this E dot target dot value? It is category name. Category name. Now I want to load only the categories that belong to this. Which category name they selected. So first I will put an alert here to make sure that category is coming correctly or not. E dot target dot value. So value is drop down value, and you can see here when user selects jewelry, only that jewelry is coming. Now I need to load only the products that belong to that category. So we written already a method called load products. Am I right? Into load products, now I have to pass the URL. What is the URL? http://fakestore.api.com/ what is it, products / category / category name. Category name. They have that API. You see, I given the listener, they have that API. This category name is coming from drop down. That means what we have to do, we will put an expression here. What is it? E dot target dot value. That is the category name. That is what it is going to display. That means now load products is going to load different products whenever category is changed. So I will refresh. You can see currently it is empty. So it is showing all the products initially when loaded. Now I select here jewelry, then only jewelry products will come. Only jewelry products will come. I selected here men's clothing, only men's clothing will come. So that means only the products that you selected are displayed here. That means women's clothing, only women's clothing will come. Sometimes it will take a while because it has to get the data from API. Sometimes API may not respond immediately. You have to keep patience, right? Now here, this is details. Now when I select all, nothing is coming. Why? Because we haven't written any logic for that. So because there is no all in original API, then what we do, we need to write a logic here. What is that condition? If E dot target dot value is equal to all, then what to do? Load products, all products. All products is HTTP fake store. So fake store API.com / what products, that is all products. This will load all products, else it should load only the category that you selected. That is the condition we have to write. And now you see when user selects here. So initially I select jewelry, here only jewelry products will come. And again I select all, then again all will come. That means all are displayed. So user is choosing any category, only the category related products will come. This is how we need to manage. That is how we need to manage the data. Now, very important is we have to do a lot of interactions here. Now we will create a simple example where user can click this button, add to cart. When user clicks add to cart, that button must add that item into cart. That means somewhere right side, I want to show cart items. That means how many items are there in the cart? 2 items, 3 items we need to display. And very important is we need to not only just display that, we need to make that available. When user clicks, a pop-up should come and display those cart items. And for that, you have to learn a lot of event handling. Currently, you haven't learned any event handling, because through event handling, you have to understand how to pass data on that button click. That means what should happen when user clicks this button, this product detail should be sent. That details we have to collect and we have to store and we have to display. Such interactions requires good knowledge on events. So the next step that you are going to learn is about events. So all React events, once you are good in events, then only you can implement these kind of actions. For example, so can I handle the same? By using radios? Suppose can I put a radio button and handle the filter by using radio buttons? You can do anything. We can use a drop down, we can use a radio, you can handle anything. For example, see here, suppose I am choosing here, I am creating in the nav bar, this is nav bar, yeah. In the navbar, I will create another div. So class margin top 3, and here we will put a label. So say choose category, select category, choose category. And here we have a class name as a form label. And below this, we will keep a div. And in this, I will keep an unordered list, a list item. Input type is equal to radio. Input type is equal to radio. And here I will display that text. That means, for example, if you want, you can generate these radios also dynamically. How to generate these radios dynamically? We have categories dot map, map, and we need to read every category, and we need to create a list item. In that list item, input type is equal to what? Radio. And here, so input type is radio, and radio will have a value. Value is the category name. So what is the category we have? And the text also, we will display the category. And this list item will have a key. What is it? Category. And you can see this is going to return all the radios. And here I will just say, suppose to upper case. That means it is going to convert that into uppercase. And I will put here class name as list unstyled. That means it will remove that symbol. That means now what should happen when user selects the radio? You can see all radios are selectable. You know how do we manage them? Huh? How do we manage them? All radios must have a name. Name I will give as category. If all having the same name, then what is the concept? Out of all, only one will be selected. Out of all, only one will be selected. Now what should happen when user selects the radio? Only that category should display. Now what do you say? Now, so here for every radio, we have to use on change. Suppose I am using, so handle category changed. Handle category changed. Already it is there now. Into that, what we are doing, we are sending the value. Here value is radio value only. Radio also have a value. That means same method I am using. I am not writing any another extra method for that. And here I selected here, refresh here initially. I selected electronics. That means it should display only electronics. You don't need to write another method because both target value only same we are collecting. Drop down also we are choosing, and here also. Suppose I select jewelry, then it will display only jewelry. That means you can choose here and we can display. Now, very important, this is different approach. All, and it will display all the products. You can choose from the drop down. You can choose from the drop down, or you can choose from here. Here, so many queries are asked. They will ask like, okay, when I select drop down, here also it should change. Am I right? How do you do that? When I select jewelry, it is showing jewelry, okay, but drop down, this radio is not selected now. Now what should happen? It should show that jewelry is selected. And I selected men's clothing, then men's clothing is coming. Here it should change the radio to men's clothing. Tell me how. How we can manage that? That is the reason what you learned is not enough. Understood? That means you may learn lot of conditions. You may learn lot of conditions, but when you go to interview, they will give some other techniques. That means they will say that, so this everybody knows, do like this. That means they will ask another criteria. But concept is same, but the conditions will change. You should able to handle everything. Now tell me how you can manage that. What you will try to do to manage this. First, concept understood. That means whenever category changed, so radio also should change its value. How? So whenever category is changed, radio also should change the value. Any technique can you tell? Suppose here I am declaring a constant. So a constant. So that is what category. Constant is category, and I am giving here set category. It is use state. By default, it is a string, and here I will give all. Understood? I am giving just all. But very important here now is here you can see this drop down is having a, where is it? Radio. This radio is having a value. Am I right? This value must be the same category value. That means it is not this one, it should be this value. That means coming from this location. So which location? Category. That means what we do here. So whenever user changes, we will put here, what is it? Set category. What is set category? Set category will get value from e dot target dot value. The category name will be assigned. Now this category must be attached to this drop down. Understood? That must be attached to drop down. Suppose this iterator name I am giving as cat. Okay, because it is having same name, na? This iterator name is what? Cat. I am using cat as an iterator, and here the value is coming from category, and here we will use cat dot uppercase. To uppercase we are giving. Value is coming from another location. That means you can see this is the data. Now generally what happens when you select jewelry, that means the jewelry products will come, and this radio must be checked. That radio must be checked. That means you have to implement this category name. It should be collected and assigned dynamically. And when value is changed, that value must be selected, na? So selected means what we have to do? We have to use a property called checked. I hope you know that. Am I right? This checked property must be true. Because checked is Boolean, na? So category name is coming, fine, no problem. If the category name is matching, that must be checked. Now you need one more property. What is that property? Boolean. Boolean must be set to true or false. Which category they selected, that category must be checked as true. That you define by using checked, because checked makes the selection, right? Checked will make the selection. This is what you need to implement. Can you try by yourself? Right? Try. Otherwise, in the next session, I will show. You have two tasks now. Try this one. One more task for you is design. Here, one more task, design checkboxes. Understood? And in what is the criteria about checkbox? If user selects two checkboxes, one jewelry, another electronics, both should come. Understood? That means it should display both. If user is selecting both, it should display both. User is selecting all, it should display all. User is selecting only one. You need to implement this. Let's see how many of you can try. Right? If you done that, you can post into classroom. I will check once. Right? Otherwise, I will help you in understanding and implementing this logic behind it. So I hope you understood what to do. Two things. One, when drop down is changed, highlight the checkbox. Second, create checkboxes. Checkboxes user can select multiple, because you will see multiple filters in products like brand name, like price range. User selects and only those will come and display. If you can do that, later I can show you sliders based on price range, how we can filter the products and display. We can create all such interactions. So that is very important. For that, you need to learn one more concept, that is event handling. If you are good at event handling, you know how to collect the data from the controls and manage them, right? So, but you try after event handling, you can do it easily. So we will discuss that, right? Then tomorrow we'll continue, right? By tomorrow, try this. I will upload this example. Try to implement the two functionalities. Checking. Another one is multiple categories, how we can display. Because multiple categories is not possible in drop down. We can do that by using list box or by using checkbox. You try by using checkbox. Okay. Then tomorrow we'll continue. In tomorrow, we will see other event handling implementations. Okay. Right.